It's time to build some super teams here on Peacock and Williamson. We're starting with the AFC East, one mega squad from the entire division. Then we'll stack those divisions together. We're going to have to hash it out, though, in the Peacock and Williamson.
Yeah.
Which players at which positions in the AFC East make the squad on today's Peacock and Williamson.
NFL analyst Brian Peacock and former NFL scout Matt Williamson bring you expert NFL analysis every day in less than 30 minutes. Get an inside look into the NFL on the field and in the front office. With elite breakdowns, next-level analysis, and in-depth information only for the real NFL fans. This is Peacock and Williamson, and it starts now.
Welcome to the Peacock and Williamson NFL Show. Brian Peacock and Matt Williamson at BD Peacock on Twitter, at Williamson NFL. Thanks, everybody, for making us your first listen right here on the Locked On Podcast Network. Today's episode is brought to you by Birddogs. Go to birddogs.com/LockedOnNFL, and when you enter promo code LockedOnNFL, they'll throw in a free custom Birddogs Yeti-style tumbler with every order. More on Birddogs a little bit later. Okay. AFC East time, Matt. And I think it's a fun division to break down and what players go into what positions here. And I think we have to have some ground rules. It's going to be it's first team, right? There's no second team all division. Nope. So we got to pick one quarterback. We got to pick one left tackle. And we have to decide, and I think the best way to do this, Matt, with every division is every division's different, has different talent.
Yeah.
We've got to decide that 11th guy. Do we want to carry two tight ends? Do we want to go three wide? Do we want a fullback? Do we want a second running back on the roster? And the same thing with the defense. We're going to go nickel. We're going to go three linebackers.
Yeah, and again, we're building a super team. We don't care about cap ramifications. I don't really care about age. Do you care about age? I mean, we're just trying to win.
I just need I need 20 games. I need a regular season and the Super Bowl, right?
Yep. A genie comes out of the bottle and says, try to win the Super Bowl with this AFC East team against the other 7 divisions. Not going to be easy. Let's put the best squad we can available. And I have a hunch sometimes we might take a left tackle, ask him to play right tackle. Want to try to avoid those things as much as possible because that makes us a worse team. You know, we're not cheating the drill here, you know, and some divisions are better than others.
It's a good point. So we have the ability to put, and I think most divisions will probably have the 2 best offensive linemen, 2 best tackles be both left tackles. So we're going to have to move the guy to the right side. It's better if they've played the right side, but we might be hurting our team. We'll have to weigh that and we'll say, okay, well, we got to move this guy over. Is it still better than someone who's maybe not as good of a player, but has played right tackle before? But we're going to give ourselves some leeway there with the offensive line and try to build the best offensive line we can. But talking about how this is a one-year endeavor, I mean, we got to start with quarterback. Because obviously, at first glance, it was like, okay, this is going to be easy, Josh Allen. But wait a second. Aaron Rodgers is in the division now. And looking at the rest of the division's quarterbacks, Matt, Tua, you know, good player, nice year. Mac Jones started his career well as a rookie. Last year was just a disaster everywhere on offense. You give him a pass there. But clearly, neither one of those quarterbacks are going to go over Rodgers or Allen. And look, let's be completely honest with Josh Allen versus Aaron Rodgers here. Maybe one year ever in the history of the world has Josh Allen been a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers. The thing is, that was probably last year, the most recent season.
Good point. I hadn't looked at it through that angle because Allen really over the last 2-3 years has been a top 3 or 4 guy. But of 2 of those 3 years, Rodgers won the MVP. So it's not like he's been doing nothing. Side note, I mean, if this was the NFC South, Tua might be our quarterback. He's got no chance in this one. You know what I mean? It's a 2-horse race all day long. I think we have to go to Aaron Rodgers and say, how would you like to be a backup? I'm going with Allen here. And this isn't a BP team versus an MW team. This is a locked on team here. I mean, this is the whole podcast team. So if you're going to fight me on it, we can hash it out. And I think that's what's fun about the whole thing.
It's worth us having the conversation.
Sure.
And I think if you went to Aaron Rodgers and said, hey, you're going to have to play backup, he would tell you where to start. And ask for a trade to another division where he could start pretty easily in some other divisions.
Or stab me in the throat.
Yeah. But look, and if we did this last year, I might argue stronger for Aaron Rodgers, MVP Aaron Rodgers, but it wasn't MVP Aaron Rodgers. And we're projecting a new season here. This is for 2023. It's not looking back at 2022 or 2021 or a lifetime achievement award. And I think there's enough evidence to feel good about Josh Allen being the better quarterback now and going forward than Aaron Rodgers. So Josh Allen is our quarterback.
Yep. Last note on this is I give Allen bonus points for after that bad elbow injury. Remember the elbow injury was like, I don't know, week 10, I'm guessing. And a lot of people were like, oh no, he may miss the rest of the season. He toughed through that. And I think that was a bigger deal than people realize. And I hate to say this because I'm not sure I've even mentioned it on the podcast before, but when you study last year, Aaron Rodgers, I got a little bit of vibes of end of career, Ben, Breeze, Eli, Brady, where he turned throws down to not take hits. And that's what old guys do. And Jets fans, I would be a little worried.
I would still take that all day long over what the Jets had in the past. But Josh Allen is our quarterback here in the AFC mega squad. Let's move on to running back. And we've got a couple of really good running backs. And I don't think there's a ton of names that deserve consideration necessarily as far as running backs go in this division. You do have to start, though, with the guy who started his career off really hot with the New York Jets last year in Breece Hall. Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson, the rookie Devin A-Chain in Miami. They're not going to get this spot.
No.
It's probably some big hopes now with James Cook in Buffalo. You got Damian Harris backing him up. Naheem Hines is there. But to me, it's a two-horse race, and it's Patriots running back Rhamondre Stevenson, and it's Jets running back Breece Hall. The upside with Breece Hall, but I think maybe you feel better about health and where Rhamondre Stevenson has been throughout his career so far.
Those are the only two names I have written down. I could make a case for both. I mean, Hall might be slightly more talented, slightly more upside as a pass catcher, but certainly as it sits here on June 7th, less reliable, considering his health and whatnot. And I adore Rhamondre Stevenson, to be very honest with you. So he would be my choice.
Okay. I would choose Breece Hall here.
Okay. It's close.
And health is tough. I think we have to put a pin in this one too, because this might be a division where we take two running backs.
I don't think that's going to happen when we start talking receivers, though.
When we get to the last spot, whoever doesn't win this. So your choice is Rhamondre Stevenson at running back?
Yeah, but I honestly, if you pencil Hall in, I'm cool with that. I mean, I absolutely am. He's going higher in dynasty drafts. I think he's a little more talented. I just adore Stevenson, and I own him everywhere in fantasy.
Yeah, I do like Rhamondre Stevenson. I would say just the upside. We're chasing upside and trying to put the best team together, and we've seen it. It's not like a rookie that we're trying to project. We've seen it, and as long as he's healthy, I think it's fair to say he'll be the better running back, the more talented running back than Rhamondre Stevenson. So Breece Hall. You're cool with Breece Hall?
I am cool with it. Yeah.
Okay. We got Breece Hall at running back now for Team AFC East. There's a lot of work we have to do on the offensive line. So let's get that going here before we do the pass catchers and get on to the defensive side of the ball. And there are
this is a little messy. I hope all divisions aren't this messy. Yeah.
Okay. Left tackle. Let's figure out left tackle first. And to me, again, it's a two-horse race. There's some good tackles in this division. Someone was going to have to move around, though. You've got the big money free agent signing a couple off seasons ago for Miami with Teron Armstead. You've got Deion Dawkins, the left tackle in Buffalo. You've got Trent Brown, who's been a veteran player, really solid player. He's started at right tackle. He started at left tackle, so it gives us some flexibility if we want to go Trent Brown, maybe on the right side with the Patriots. And then another veteran in Dwayne Brown, who's the left tackle in New York. And then looking at right tackles, we got Spencer Brown in Buffalo, Austin Jackson in Miami, two, sort of toolsy players that haven't put it all together yet, and I don't think they're going to make our squad either one. And then, a veteran in Riley Reif with the Patriots on the right side, and Mekhi Becton, don't really know what to think about with him at right tackle, and if he's even going to be the right tackle for the Jets, let alone our AFC East squad. So what are you looking at left tackle first, Matt?
Okay, so I think right tackle is the worst position on this entire team, after fiddling with this a little bit. And I hope we don't do this with 8 divisions, but I'm going to lobby to put somebody at right tackle that is not currently a starting right tackle on the depth chart. Left tackle, to answer your original question, I really think is Dawkins versus Armstead. Armstead's body of work is better. Dawkins is a little more reliable. Dawkins might have to bump to the right, but I'm going to put Armstead at left tackle as our first offensive lineman, if you're cool with that.
I'm with you there. I have Armstead at left tackle. And my question was, are we going to move somebody, or are we going to, Trent Brown has played, high level right.
He has played right
in the league. There are guards that we could kick out to tackle.
That interests me as well.
But if we're doing the two best tackles, you move Dawkins over, you keep Teron Armstead at left tackle.
Yes. So let's put Armstead in pen at left tackle and Dawkins in pencil at right tackle, because we might configure a better 5-man front than that.
Okay, that's a perfect spot then. We'll finish the rest of the offensive line, pass catchers, and put together an all-AFC East defense as well. Next. Today's episode of Peacock and Williamson is brought to you by Birddogs. Birddogs make you look good. They make you feel good. They stretch all in the ways that you need them. Birddogs stretch khaki shorts are designed to fit a little slimmer through the thigh and the leg, giving you a truly sculpted look. Birddogs shorts do the exact same thing as, say, Lululemon, but with a way better fit. They fit way better than regular shorts because they're not made of that stiff, restricting cotton. They stretch in all four directions that you need. A cloud knit was invented by Birddogs to fix these issues of not being comfortable in your shorts and pants. Cloud knit fabric that looks just like khaki, but stretches so you get a way slimmer fit without having to sacrifice any type of movement. I love my Birddogs shorts. They're super versatile. I mean, it's summertime. You can put them on, lounge around. You can go to the gym with them. You can hang out by the pool with them. Mine have the liner. You can get them with a liner or not. And I love that for a pool day, for a barbecue day. You put the liner on. Maybe I'm going to take a dip. Maybe not. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I got the liner. I'm good to go. And my Birddog pants are just awesome. You can go from work right out to the golf course and be athletic in them if you want. And they look great all day long. And they feel great. And you can go to birddogs.com/LockedOnNFL. Enter promo code LockedOnNFL for a free Yeti-style tumbler with your order. That's birddogs.com/LockedOnNFL for a free Yeti-style tumbler with your order. You won't want to take your Birddogs off. We promise you. So let's get this interior line figured out and see if we want to bump Deion Dawkins out of the right tackle spot. And it starts at guard, I think, is where this conversation gets interesting.
See, I want to fight you a little bit. I think we would start with our center, because I think there's some movable guards.
Okay. So we'll lock in center first.
Let's just lock that center in. Mitch Morse is a good player. Connor Williams is a good player. I think this has to be Andrews, though. I mean, I want the reliable rock at center. I don't want any, vulnerability or, I just want a guy I can trust at center to snap it every time, show up. So are we cool with that?
Yeah, the Jets signed Connor McGovern. They drafted Joe Tippmann. That's not going to be the winner here. I like Connor Williams a lot, maybe more than most, but I think David Andrews is probably the answer. So I'm good. I'm good. David Andrews at center. So
we have a left tackle and a center in Stone.
Yes.
Now, guards, this isn't a bad guard group. Like, I definitely good guard group. I definitely want Vera Tucker in our starting lineup.
Yes, I agree.
He has played some tackle, but I think he's best at guard. And I think the same is true for Onwenu from the Patriots. Not a household name, better at guard, but has played tackle. But there's other guards that aren't bad.
He's so much of a non-household name that Williamson struggles to say the name.
Destroy it
altogether.
Destroy it.
Onwenu, I think is how you pronounce it, but
I know I'm wrong on it. Yeah.
And so you got. I think here are the guards. I think two of these three have to be our guards. It's Laken Tomlinson, it's Elijah Vera Tucker, both from the Jets, and Onwenu at guard. And there's some other good players. Eichenberg,
Torrance even crossed my mind.
Yeah,
as a rookie, yeah.
Osiris Torrance, right? But I'm going to go with the vets here. So, what combo do you like? Laken Tomlinson left guard, Vera Tucker right guard, with Deion Dawkins at right tackle. Do you want to kick Vera Tucker out the tackle? We go Laken Tomlinson and Onwenu, or do you want to go Elijah Vera Tucker and Onwenu at guard with Dawkins at tackle?
Of the three guards we're considering, Tomlinson's my least favorite, and he's a pure guard.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I'm holding that against him, because I can plug him in at guard and be very comfortable. He's a good player.
Yeah.
Who do you feel? I guess the question should start with, who are you most comfortable at right tackle? Vera Tucker, Owenunu, or Dawkins?
Probably Dawkins. So I think I'm feeling where we're going to go with this.
Yeah,
and I think we're gonna put, because Elijah Vera Tucker go left guard, right tackle, left tackle. We're going Vera Tucker left guard. We're going Nwenu right guard, and we're going Dion Dawkins right tackle.
I think that's the right move. And Dion, sorry, but you're going to have to learn to do things backwards. And I'm not super comfortable about that, because we're going to play against great teams. You know,
but we have faith that you can do it.
We have faith that you can do it, but you might have to block TJ Watt and other guys coming off that right side that are no fun to block.
And apologies to other right tackles in other divisions, because now we've set a precedence. And I don't know how many right tackles. There's a few that I know are going to make it onto our squad, but I think some of the right tackles around the league aren't going to be able to make the all division teams, because we're going to be moving guys to right tackle from the left side.
Just because it makes a better line. I mean, we want to put the best football players out there. So now we got pass catchers, right?
Let's do our first. Let's get our tight end in there first. And it's not surprisingly, it's a kind of a bad group of tight ends.
Really bad
in the AFC East. And it comes down to Henry, I think, Hunter Henry with the Patriots. You got Conklin, Ozoma. They drafted Zach Kuntz in the 7th round. The Jets did. You got Durham Smythe. You've got Elijah Higgins, a rookie. With the Miami Dolphins, you got Dawson Knox with the Buffalo Bills, Dalton Kincaid they drafted. I mean, I'm tempted to put a rookie in there, and Dalton is a first-round tight end. We just haven't seen him play yet, and first-round tight ends traditionally haven't done amazing in the NFL. So is it Knox? Is it Kincaid? Would we use it? Because Dalton Kincaid might, quote-unquote, not be a starter. Could we put him in our all-division team and he hasn't played it down? Or is it Hunter Henry? So Henry, Knox, or Kincaid, Matt?
So I don't want to get super nerdy about this and be like, well, we have right tackle questions, so we should have a better blocking tight end. Like, I'm not going to game plan here. I'm just putting the best guys in. I put Kincaid in right off the bat, you know, and I know that he's unique. And trust me, we're going to be fine at the pass catcher situation with or without Kincaid. Henry and Knox just don't move the needle for me.
Mike Gesicki? No?
Nope.
Okay. Wow. I'm just looking at our team. This is going to be with 3 wide, Breece Hall at running back, Dalton Kincaid at tight end. This is going to be I don't want to say
great
soft
receiving group.
Oh,
it is. That's okay. I should say.
Yeah, like it's they might get bullied trying to run the ball a little bit.
3rd and 1 is not our specialty,
right? But
Josh Allen's going to take that for us. Hey, Josh, you go get that one.
Yeah, he's our short yardage guy.
Yeah.
I do have a problem putting Kincaid as a rookie in there over the guy who's going to start in front of him, be a wide tight end, and Dawson Knox, Hunter Henry. They just haven't shown enough, right? They're too easy to play against in a format like this. It's all stars galore. Like, frankly, if there was, I mean, I'm just spitballing. When we do AFC North, I'm sure Andrews will be our tight end. If we had a Fryer, Muther, and a Njoku, I'm bumping Kincaid all day long. There's just nobody to bump him for. He's the most talented guy. I think you throw him in. All right. We've got Dalton Kincaid, the rookie, at tight end, at Williamson NFL, at BD Peacock. If you don't like the way we're going with our All-AFC East squad, I mean, they're going to be able to put up points in the passing game. That's for sure. Yeah. So speaking of the passing game, wide receivers, it's very likely we're going to go with 3 wide here in this offense. Who's wide receiver 1 for you in this division? Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs?
I don't care. I don't need to rank them because they're both never leaving the field. They're my 2 receivers. And to cut to the chase, so this isn't a 50-minute podcast, I think this conversation is Tyreek and Diggs are in. Wilson or Waddle?
And I knew it was going to come down to that. And I totally agree. I'm putting in Tyreek Hill in my top slot, by the way.
That's fine. I would too, actually.
I got to write somebody's name first. I got Tyreek Hill, wide receiver 1. We've got Stephon Diggs, wide receiver 2. Do you have a strong feeling? I think I'm going to vote for Garrett Wilson for our wide receiver.
I thought I was going to shock you to do the same. I love Waddle, and he would be in probably most divisions top 3. I mean, super player. I think Wilson's a little more special.
Does somebody fit better in the slot? Could that be a tiebreaker?
Tyreek's done it. Wilson's done a lot of it. Diggs could do it.
So you just have Wilson, Diggs, Hill, all of them could go anywhere, basically.
I think so. And Kincaid's a slot. I know that doesn't matter because, he's not as good as those guys in terms of receiving skills.
And the last question is, we're not going to pick a tight end or a running back for our last spot over a wide receiver. We're definitely
not over Garrett Wilson or Jalen Waddle.
Here we go.
That's our 11.
Offense is complete. We've got our starting 11. Josh Allen at quarterback. Breece Hall of the Jets at running back. Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs. Garrett Wilson at wide receiver. Dalton Kincaid, the rookie, at tight end. And left to right on the offensive line, Teron Armstead, Elijah Vera Tucker, David Andrews, Michael Owenu, and Deion Dawkins.
I'm in. It's not perfect, but, I think that's the best 11.
It's good. It's rock solid. I love it.
Okay.
And man, they're going to be able to put the ball in a lot of places in the passing game all over the football field. Like you're not going to be able to come with the 3 linebacker base set and cover them.
No.
Although they're not going to be able to run on you if that's the case. If that's your defense in one of these other divisions. So the points this team could put up would be fun.
I think the defense is less controversial as a little tease for the next segment.
I think so. Yeah. Let's get into that defense next. And there's some veteran players. Can the youngsters replace some of those veterans on this roster? We will find out next. Thanks, everybody, for making Peacock and Williamson your first listen every day here on the Locked On Podcast Network. Make sure you check out everything else the network has to offer, like Locked On NFL Draft, and, of course, your team is covered, not only your favorite NFL team, but every sport right here on the Locked On Podcast Network. Von Miller, does he have enough for you, Matt, to be the starting edge rusher in the AFC East when you start looking at the edge players that we're putting together here? 2 ends, and we're going 4-3, I think. I guess we got to figure that out. We might go 3-4, I guess, in some of these divisions.
Well, I think I'm going to go with 2 off-the-ball linebackers almost every time.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I'm kind of looking at a front 4, 2 off-the-ball linebackers, and 5 defensive backs. But maybe we say I want an extra defensive front guy. I'd be shocked if we ever go with 3 off the ball linebackers. You know what I mean?
Von Miller, can I put him in pen?
Yes.
Von Miller in pen. Question now: is new teammate
Rousseau,
Leonard Floyd, who was signed?
Oh, Floyd.
Yeah, Leonard Floyd was just signed by the Buffalo Bills, right? You got Greg Rousseau, you got Shaq Lawson, you got AJ Epinesa, you got Boogie Basham. I mean, these are 1st and 2nd round picks all over the place on Buffalo's defensive line. For the Jets, John Franklin Myers. You've got
greatly underrated player, by the way.
Exactly. First round pick last year, Jermaine Johnson. You got Carl Lawson, who, when healthy, I think would be an easy pick here, but he hasn't been healthy. They threw another 1st round pick in there as well, with Will McDonald. I think Jalen Phillips is one of your favorite guys in this division, right?
Adore him. Yes. I mean, I almost called him Nick Chubb, but what's his face? Bradley Chubb's in this division. I think Judon's a great player. I think Uche's a breakout candidate.
Yes.
My vote is Phillips, but I would understand Judon. Judon's no fun to play against. I had
Judon in here.
Did you?
Yeah, and just because the body of work and Jalen Phillips is coming on, but I don't know, maybe I'm sleeping a little bit on Jalen Phillips and holding his first year over his head and not considering strong enough his second breakout year.
Again, this is honestly, to me, Rhamondre versus Breece Hall, and it's almost a coin flip. I think Phillips will be better. If we do this a year from now, I think we'd take Phillips. I really think he's ascending, but we're not doing it a year from now. Judon's exceptional. I'm fine with it.
I won the Breece Hall debate, so I'm going to let you pick this one. Jalen Phillips?
Well, I'll be honest. I mean, I'm like 49-51, and if you like Judon, that's enough for me to be cool with it. So if it was 60-40, I would take my guy, but let's go Judon.
Judon it is.
Okay.
We got Matthew Judon. How about the interior? Is this super easy?
Yeah. I love Barmore as another breakout candidate, but it's Wilkins and Quinnen.
It's Wilkins and Quinn Williams. But I don't think we can go any other direction with the interior defensive lineman here. So those guys are in, and they're in Penn. Okay. How about linebacker, Matt? Who do you like at linebacker, off-ball backer here in the AFC East?
It's not an exceptional group. I think Milano is a top 10 linebacker in the whole league. And I think the Bills have told us over the last year or two they value him more than Terrell Edmonds or Tremaine Edmonds or one of the Edmonds, whatever. I think Milano's a yes. David Long, newly signed with the Dolphins, is probably my other vote. A little unreliable with their ability, coming off a great year with the Titans. I don't love the other options. It's okay.
So Matt Milano is, for you, a no-doubter?
Yeah. He's my green dot guy. He's, never leaves the field. Any package we're in, he's the leader of the D.
CJ Mosley?
Thought about him. I even think Quinnen's brother is a pretty good player. Those New England's weird. Like they play safeties at linebacker and things like that. Like we could cheat and put Kyle Duggar there or something like that.
Well, I don't want to get that creative. I was going to throw actually Duggar's name out there for our last spot, our sort of nickel linebacker, dime linebacker position. But we could even put him in the off-ball spot.
We might agree on that when it's all said and done. He might have to be in our 11.
Interesting. Well, who would be I'm going to give it to you. Who's going to be the second linebacker here then?
I'm going with David Long. I thought he had a tremendous year, and he did get hurt down the stretch for the Titans, but I think he's going to be a real asset for them. Baker's not a bad player too in Miami, but I would go with David Long.
We've got Matt Milano and David Long at linebacker.
Yeah. Not our strongest position, but so be it.
Well, the secondary is going to be really strong here, Matt.
Well, Ramsey and Sauce are on the it's pretty good.
That corner, it's like you can't put anybody else there, right?
No. If we're picking the whole AFC, it might be Ramsey and Sauce, or the whole league. So they're two of the top 3 or 4 in the league. So they're definitely in my opinion.
Here's the question. Do you put Ramsey in the slot and bring another corner in to play outside with Sauce?
So the other 2 corners, those names I've written down that I never would have left off my team 1 year ago are Xavier Howard and Tre'Davious White. Both were not themselves last year, though, and neither is Young. So, I can live with them not being on the field for me.
I like DJ Reed for the Jets.
Yeah.
He's actually and kind of a guy that you thought would be a better nickel in the NFL, and that's how he started his career, and he's actually played a lot outside. But he could be the third corner here.
I think 3 safeties is possibly in the mix. A lot of these safeties are true slots now.
Let's wait. Let's wait on corner 3. Let's wait on that nickel spot then and go through the safeties. And I think the first nomination has to be to both Buffalo safeties.
Right. That's pretty chalky. They're great together. Poyer and Hyde, one of the best tandems in the last decade, without question. But Javon Holland's my favorite safety in the division.
He could be a nickel too.
I know. So could Duggar. Phillips is a good player for the Patriots as well. A lot of versatility. Versatility in safeties to me is super important unless you're like a Minka center fielder.
And we haven't even mentioned all the Joneses on the New England Patriots defense. And they can all play nickel. They can all play safety and outside corner practically, right? That's a really interesting group. And Christian Gonzalez is a first-round draft pick.
Right. And with all respect to all those dudes from New England, I can't quite take them over Tre'Davious White, Xavier Howard, one of these safeties. My 5th defensive back probably won't be those guys. But I think the Patriots defense is going to be awesome this year, and they're going to be a big, big reason why.
All right. Well, and let's see. Let's go back to this here. So I think it's safety.
Holland has to be one. Yeah.
Holland has to be there. So I'm going to put Holland in there. And do you go Hyde or Poyer?
This sounds terrible as an NFL analyst, but I think they're like the same person, and I get confused who's who almost. I bet I'm not alone, and people just pretend that they're not different, that they really are different, but they really aren't. But one of them just is coming off an injury, so maybe we take the healthier of the two.
How about
Poyer was hurt, right?
But if we're going younger too, what about Duggar? What about?
I think Duggar's better than both of them. He was going to be my vote for the 11th guy.
Okay, the Mafia's coming after you.
I know, and I love the pairing. Although I can't tell who's who. But whatever. I'll pretend like I.
So we're going Holland and Duggar at safety.
Yeah.
which means
both of whom could be your big slot, though.
Yes, but then
or
we're
even
going to have
linebacker.
We're going to have Jalen Ramsey as the big slot, because then we could have our third corner be either
Howard or White.
And I think that's the way we have to go.
I think we have to do that too.
Okay, this is surprising. Okay, so we're going
to
go Duggar, and we're going to go Javon Holland. Okay, I like this.
So the Bills safeties don't make the team.
Yeah,
is the headline here.
They're the starters on the second unit, but we're not doing a second.
They don't have a second unit, right? White versus Howard, I guess, is our last question.
Yes, and that means we're going Jalen Ramsey as the big nickel with White and Howard on the outside.
Although all three of those corners could just follow whoever they want all over the field.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? They could all Revis Island it. I don't have any strong feeling of Howard versus White. White was pretty bad when he returned from injury, but he returned from a big injury.
Yeah. And
Howard's a certain type of guy, you know.
They're both so good. And Howard's going to get you the turnovers. Is that the tiebreaker with
probably
not seeing this is tough, because if I had to bet, and we shouldn't spend too much time on this, but it's our last spot here. If I had to bet, I think White's the better player going forward.
I would bet that too. But if he finished the year better, I would be fighting for him stronger. I didn't love how he came back, but he's younger, right? No, they're about the same age.
I think he's a little younger.
Okay.
I'm gonna vote White.
You got it. It's yours.
Okay.
I'm really torn on it, so I am not going to stand on the table either way on that one.
Here we go. We got
pretty good group.
Oh, it's a great group. Absolutely. I love what we've put together here. So let's go through this here. I got to write that.
Our top two corners and our D tackles are going to be the strength of the D. Like, the edge rushers are great, but next division is going to have Watt and Garrett. You know, like, there's a lot of good edge rushers around the league.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm just typing this in here as we go.
Okay,
so I'm going to go through it. The defense, we've got Von Miller and Matt Judon coming off the edge. We got Quinnen Williams and Christian Wilkins at defensive tackle. Matt Milano and David Long at linebacker. Sauce Gardner, Jalen Ramsey, Trey White at corner, and Javon Holland and Kyle Duggar at safety.
I bet some people are losing their minds over the safeties.
But you know what I like about that secondary is there is a ton of versatility.
Yep.
And when you consider they might have to cover these other juggernaut offenses that are going three wide with essentially another fourth wide receiver at tight end, maybe that's exactly what you need on defense in these.
I might bring this up for 6 other episodes, not the AFC West. Who guards Kelsey? Well, Ramsey, Duggar.
Yeah.
It's not so bad. Holland.
For sure, Ramsey.
Yeah.
I would Ramsey. Yeah. And that's the way I would put it. I would put Holland and Duggar at safety. Duggar would go up by the line of scrimmage, and Holland could move down and cover some guys like Dalton Kincaid, let's say. But I would have Ramsey as my nickel, and I would have White and Gardner on the outside.
But that's a big thing to me, is going to be who's our Kelsey, who can at least compete with the Kelsey type. And the answer is no one, but Ramsey's not a bad option. And same with Duggar and these other dudes.
And looking at this is really, so we have 22 spots. I think there's 6 Bills, 5 Jets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Dolphins, and 5 Patriots.
I would have guessed Patriots were going to get shortchanged.
1, 2, 3, 4. No, 4 Patriots. I'm sorry.
We got
Andrews, Judon,
and Okay, yeah, it's good.
So yeah, very evenly distributed division there in the AFC East. It wasn't just all Bills, even though they're the best team in the division, right?
Right, and it's a really good division.
The Jets could have had a few more actually too. So the Jets are the sneaky one that had even fewer than maybe I thought.
And come to think of it, Rhamondre was a very close runner-up. I'm trying to think who were some of the ones where Phillips was a very close runner-up.
Right, like Tomlinson could have been in there.
Yeah. There was a couple that were down to the wire. I mean, and definitely both Bills safeties were in the mix. Honorable mentions.
Yeah. Okay, good stuff there. What do you guys think? At BD Peacock, at Williamson NFL, and how do you think this AFC East mega team will
Super quick question. Yeah, that's my question to you. Right off the bat, not doing the other 7. I'm betting this isn't number 1. I know it won't be 8.
Right, exactly. I think this is going to be somewhere in the middle, upper middle, I would say. This will be like the 3rd or 4th division.
But I think this is the best division in football, which doesn't mean the same thing for this exercise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just kind of fun.
And
we might one of the Souths that might be really bad might put a better all-star team together. You know what I mean? Who knows? We'll just work through it.
Up next is the AFC North. On Friday's show tomorrow is the Peacock and Williamson mailbag. So make sure you get those questions into us at BD Peacock, at Williamson NFL. Drop a comment on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed up to the brand new Peacock and Williamson YouTube channel. And you can find us everywhere you find your podcast. Matt and I back tomorrow. Peacock and Williamson.